Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In honor of the new Forged in Fog DBD DLC release, we are going to start a new series today. This series will be focused on learning the new survivor and killer, so we will be only using their perks. If all goes to plan, we might even get a few adept achievements. Let's get started from the survivor's POV first. Survivor side not interesting enough for you? Skip to the second part of this video for the killer POV. Timestamps will be posted in the description for easier access. Diving into the lore of things, let's start with Daddy Hold on a second. Something just isn't right here. Much better. As I was saying, let's learn a little bit about Vittorio Toscano and his backstory. Vittorio Toscano, who I will now reference as Daddy Vit or Vit, this is his backstory. Born to Alberto and Caterina Toscano in 1343, Vittorio Toscano was the youngest of three and third in line to inherit his family's land. At age 15, his father sent him to train with Ettore Fabrizio, the same knight who trained his older brothers in the martial arts. But Vittorio didn't take to combat training the way his brothers did. As a student of philosophy, he believed physical violence to be the last refuge of the incompetent. Infuriated by Vittorio's pacifism, Fabrizio ordered one of his pages to attack him. Vittorio dodged and blocked the blows, but refused to fight back. When his enraged opponent lunged, Vittorio parried. His attacker tripped, falling on his own dagger. He bled out in less than a minute, and Vittorio threw down his sword, swearing never to pick it up again. Since Vittorio demonstrated aptitude for sponsorship, his frustrated father sent him to study with his uncle Renzo. Besides being the Duke of Porto Scurio, Renzo was also a scholar and collector of rare artifacts. Under Renzo's tutelage, Vittorio focused his studies on lost civilizations and ancient history. He researched forgotten tomes and became an expert on the philosophy and wisdom of ancient secret societies and obscure guardians of knowledge. Guardians present in almost every century and culture. Guardians that went by manifold names depending on the time and region and were said to be from another dimension, a perfect world. He collected anything on watchers, keepers, guides, masters, observers. Vittorio's research revealed these guardians acted as gatekeepers of advanced arcane knowledge that would gradually help humanity transcend to a higher plane of existence. He theorized the observers waited for humanity to acquire wisdom before releasing knowledge that otherwise would lead to their self-destruction. Slowly, these observers found ways to inspire humanity with knowledge that would stimulate growth, understanding, and collect wisdom. Vittorio adopted his uncle Renzo's view that greed for money and power was the source of all conflict. His hope was that the lost knowledge of those gatekeepers might bring peace, harmony, and order to a violent world. At Vittorio's urging, Renzo mounted an expedition to find lost relics and artifacts from the ruins of antiquity. In Hungary, they discovered a bronze dodecahedron that dated back to Roman times. In Asia Minor, they uncovered a hidden tunnel beneath the obelisk of Theodosius, where they discovered stone tablets engraved in Akkadian cuneiform. They told the tale of a mysterious artifact split into three and scattered across the world. A clue led them to the remains of Troy, where a secret chamber revealed a treasure trove of antiquities. The most precious was a piece of that mysterious artifact. Another clue led them to Isle of Rhodes, where a hidden cave held a second part of that same relic. In Delphi, under the Temple of Apollo, Vittorio discovered the third piece on a black marble altar. Engravings on the altar showed a map of Crete and a star over the palace of Minos. Deep in the labyrinth below the ruins of the palace, Vittorio discovered a place to put the key created by the three relics. Ancient machinery came to life. A stone was slid open, revealing a hidden vault. Renzo and Vittorio entered and found a white marble wall inscribed with what seemed to be a form of Sanskrit. The message warned of a cult that sought to corrupt humanity with knowledge it wasn't ready for. They had hunted down the observers and imprisoned them. But before being imprisoned, the observers had hidden artifacts around the world with secret knowledge about the dark force and how to stop it from destroying the world. The message on the wall also spoke of a stone from an an ancient school that held the secrets of traveling between planes of existence. Vittorio, believing the stone held the key to finding the observers or their perfect world, called the stone Lapis Paradisius. As they exited the vault, Renzo stepped on a black serpent. The serpent sank its fangs into Renzo's leg and disappeared as quickly as it appeared. The venom spread fast, and within minutes, he passed away. As Renzo's only heir, Vittorio inherited his estate, his library, his title, and his vast fortune. Determined to honor his uncle and help humanity transcend its weakness, greed, and cruelty, he knew he had to find the Lapis Paradisius to free the observers if they were still alive. In 1391, Vittorio mounted an expedition. He employed a missionary knight to aid in the effort and offer protection. Formerly a member of the Guardia Campania, Taros Kovosis feared no man or beast. Vittorio's explorations and discoveries eventually led them to the heavily guarded catacombs beneath the Portuguese city of Sintra. If the expedition wanted to enter, they would have to kill those who guarded it. Vittorio had no wish to shed blood and told Taros to find another way. Taros defied Vittorio, and by the end of the day, he had him in irons. When they returned to Italy, Taros locked Vittorio in a dungeon and began a campaign of torture in Portocuro, promising to stop when he revealed the meaning behind the stone. Within weeks, Taros grew tired of torturing the townsfolk, and Vittorio was left to rot in the dungeon with no one to talk to but the rats. In his solitude, he had scratched the symbols from the Lapis Paradisius into the stone floor. He attempted countless sequences while imagining a world like paradise. And just when he was about to surrender to hunger and despair, he tried one last sequence while meditating on a world of endless peace and compassion. At first, he thought he had failed. He gasped with the last of his strength as the rats approached menacingly, preparing to feast on his defeated solid flesh. Then suddenly, a cold, unnatural black fog rose from the stone floor, and within minutes he heard cries of anguish and crows circling above him. With difficulty, he clambered to his feet and found himself in another world, not the paradise he had expected. We have now learned a little bit of Daddy Vit's background. Why don't we take a peek and learn what his perks do? Perk number 1, we have Quick Gambit. When you have a killer's attention, you know how to keep it. Others can be confident they won't be interrupted anytime soon. When you are chased within 24 meters of any generator, any other survivor working on that generator receives a 8% speed boost to the repair action. Perk number 2. Fog-wise. In your countless years in the fog, you've seen it all, and when you are focused, you can remember most of it too. Hitting a great skill check while repairing a generator reveals the killer's aura to you for 6 seconds. Perk number 3, Potential Energy. Your arcane abilities have adapted to the entity's realm after centuries of wandering, granting you unprecedented control over its many devices. After working on a generator for 8 uninterrupted seconds, press the ability button 2 to activate this perk. When this perk is active, repairing the generator will charge this perk instead of making the generator progress. For each 1.5% of generator repair, the perk will gain 1 token, up to 20 tokens. While this perk has at least 1 token and you are working on a generator, you can press the active ability button 2 to consume all the tokens and instantly make the generator progress by 1% for each token. This perk then deactivates. If you lose a health state while this perk has at least 1 token, the perk will lose all tokens and deactivate. Missing a skill check will also result in some tokens lost. Now that we have learned his perks, the last step is to actually play games and see if we can successfully escape. All right, Auto Haven. I think I can get down with this map. I'm gonna try to use a little bit of my potential energy. I'm gonna release it. There we go. Oh, it's a Mikey! Sorry, Mike. I was just working on a generator, and you just happened to be rude. Woo, big swings. I think I lost him. I'm gonna do a quick heal. Perfect. That was the generator that I was on earlier. So I'm gonna go on this gen. Killer is all the way over there. I'm gonna start storing my energy. Ooh, okay. Still far away. Got plenty of time. Ooh, we're gonna 3-gen. I'm gonna leave the energy over here, but then I'm gonna switch gens. All right, I switched to the middle generator to try to prevent a 3-gen from happening. I'm a little nervous because I did see the killer nearby and we're in tier 3. Let's go grab some potential energy. Do you like my stuff? There we go. Perfect. Love that. All right, we have Mikey really far away. But he's here. He's here. Big swings. I'll take a hit. Aggro. He wants to Claudette though, so I'm going to do heal. Ooh, big swings. I'm going to use the distance. Big swings. Ooh, he got me, he got me, he got me, he got me, he got me. Darn. All right, first hook. Not bad. Already have 3 gens done. It's fine. Last gen. One's on a gen right now. Both of them are single working on gens. So the Claudette is being left to come save me with seconds left to spare. Freaking queen. Legend. Oh, we got a tier 3. All right, the door over here is almost done. I'm going to go to it. Ooh. We can save. Oh, Claudette's already over there for the save. Oh. Come on, baby, come on. Ayo! Four-man escape! Let's go! And I got adept! Ooh, ooh! And we have the new map, the Shattered Square. Let's see what all the talk's about. Piggy. I have successfully found my first generator. All right, we're gonna hold that 20 for right now. I have a different game plan. We're gonna hold it till the very end. Now that we're at 75%, I want to see what 20 tokens will do. Okay. Definitely worth waiting till the end there. So if you wait till about like 80%, then pop that 20. Ooh, beautiful. Got it. Go take your mask off. Well, okay. Well, you have your mask gonna explode your head, but okay. I'm gonna get a 10 stack and I'm gonna release. And that should finish the gen. Oh, almost. There we go. Ooh, pig's right here. Yui takes the hit. I'm gonna go for the save. This generator's barely works, so I'm gonna try to do the same technique I did earlier. Killer's over to the left of me. That 80. And energy. Done. Beautiful. Heal. Yes! That was beautiful! Oh, killer's here. Got a hit on me. Good job. Can you not run through here? Ooh. That makes Killer Shack dangerous. Ooh. Oh, no. I medium vaulted. That makes that dangerous. It's going to be my first hook. 2 gens left. Looks like Meg's attempting to come for the save, as is the Adam. But Adam should be able to get here before second. Seconds! Seconds! Thank you. Mask, please. Oh, thank God. We can crawl through these. Easy. Out. And I got the achievement for the map as well. Let's go! If you've made it this far in the video, you have already seen the new survivor's POV, which means it's now time for our killer's POV. Here we have the knight. Tarhos Kovacs didn't remember much about his childhood, but when he did remember, he would chase his entire life. He remembered the cries and screams in the village. He remembered his mother forcing him to swallow a thick black fluid like medicine. He remembered collapsing to the hard floor only to awaken in a mass grave buried under a crush of bodies with the sound of the village burning in his ears. He remembered pushing, pulling, and climbing to the top of the bloody mass only to be seized by the death, destruction, and silence. The indifferent and impenetrable silence. A high-pitched whine suddenly sounded in his ears, and his skin began to prickle as he realized he was in the presence of something he couldn't possibly understand. And though he couldn't articulate what he was experiencing, he knew it wasn't pain, grief, or fear. It was something else, something closer to awe. As Taros tried to make sense of the moment, he didn't notice the men who approached him from behind. He didn't even react when they carried him off to a horse-drawn buggy and locked him up in a small wooden cage with other slaves. He just stared at the scene, mesmerized. And even as they rode away telling him he was headed for Italy, Taros stared through the wooden cracks with his eyes wide open and a heart wanting to understand what could not be understood. From that day on, Taros belonged to the Guardia Campania, where he trained under Kadir Hakam. There he learned to wield weapons, forge armor, and recite a code of chivalry to obediently serve those who would employ his services. As the years passed, Taros made few friends amongst the hostile and competitive mercenaries, but his skills, strength, and smarts attracted a small following who believed his courage brought them luck in battle and that one day he would help them earn their collective freedom. 3 of his followers pledged their undying allegiance to Taros and came to be known as his Fearful Three, his pack. Alejandro Santagio, apprenticed with Guardia Campania's armorer. Durkos Malekek showed an aptitude for stealth and silent kills. Sander Rot matched Taros in size and strength, his weapon of choice a massive battle axe. As the Guardia Campania carried out companions in faraway lands, Taros dispatched countless enemies. Years passed, blood flowed. And yet, all that killing still didn't bring Taros closer to what he had experienced in this village. Nevertheless, for his bravery in battle, Taros was granted knighthood and freedom. The Hungarian slave was now liberated, his brutality rewarded, though his heart still longed for something else, something he could not name or describe. Tired of taking orders from those he considered his inferiors, Taros left the Guardia Campania to strike out on his own. Their leader, however, refused to release his followers. Determined to raise enough gold to liberate his followers, Taros found employment with a wealthy Italian lord. Vittorio Toscano was the Duke of Portoscuro. He was also a scholar, a world traveler, and a collector of ancient knowledge that has been hidden by an unknown cabal of mystics. Taros joined Vittorio's last expedition to find a fragment of a pillar from an ancient school lost to time, a stone Vittorio called the Lapis Paradius, for he believed it held secrets to open a gateway into a perfect world beyond good and evil. The expedition searched Roman ruins in France and crossed the Pyrenees Mountains into Spain, where the path led to the catacombs beneath the Portuguese city of Sintra. The citizens there considered the catacombs sacred. Taros would have to kill the villagers guarding the entrance to retrieve the stone. Not wanting to shed blood, Vittorio commanded Taros to find another way. But Taros, who had seen the most horrific acts committed under the guise of chivalry, refused to be dissuaded by pretenses of honor. He waited for Vittorio to ride back to camp. Then, with a mighty roar, he pushed forward, cutting a path of blood and gore into the darkness until he had the stone in his grasp. Upon returning to the town of Portoscuro, Taros imprisoned Vittorio in his own dungeon, demanding to know the meanings behind the symbols etched in the stone. When Vittorio refused to talk, Taros brutally tortured his friends and relatives and made horrific displays of their bodies in the streets. But nothing he did shook Vittorio's resolve to keep the secrets of the stone from Taros. Enraged, Taros seized control of Vittorio's riches and raised a small army. Within months, Taros fearlessly marched upon the Guardia Campania, decimating their barracks, freeing their followers, cutting down his enemies like twigs, and collecting their righteous heads for his growing displays of valor. In time, several lords in neighboring provinces believed Taros was the very very embodiment of evil. They banded together to create a moral and virtuous army to purge evil from Portocoro. Taros ignored their threat. He viewed the lords as a cowardly lot who cloaked their greed, ambition, in laws, codes, and platitudes. Laws and codes and platitudes designed to hide from the very darkness Taros embraced and accepted without judgment. But with his enemies on the march, Taros headed toward the dungeons to give Vittorio the death he deserved. He refused to afford him even the slightest hope of rescue. With dark intentions, he entered the small prison, wound his way into the bowels of the earth, and pushed through a torch-lit corridor. He hesitated for a moment, realizing he would never learn Vittorio's knowledge and secrets, but neither would anyone else. That was good enough for him. And so he unlocked and kicked open the dungeon door. 2 quick strides brought him to an empty, rat-infested chamber. Taros stood silent for a moment. Then a roar of indignation burst out of his lungs as the sounds of battle suddenly reverberated through the town. Instantly, he stumbled through the corridor, rushed up the twisting stairs, vaulted out of the moonlit doorway, and charged through pools of gleaming blood and viscera, smashing and shattering his way through the enemy. The moral and victorious lords rained flaming boulders and tree trunks among the town, bursting through homes, crushing villagers like worms, pounding the ground and igniting stacks of hay and piles of lumber into massive tongues of fire. Amidst the carnage and chaos, the pack found Taros, and back to back, they became a whirlwind of death. Some believed their courage gave them luck. Others believed something otherworldly protected them. Whatever it was, they alone felled dozens of warriors as easily as stomping and crushing beetles. And as they butchered the enemy, Taros didn't notice the strange fog rising from the fallen corpses and clattering armor until he couldn't see 2 inches in front of him in any direction. Taros stumbled forward, groping in the thick fog like the dark fluid his mother forced down his throat all those years ago. His coronation and sense of direction was confused as he called out for his pack. How long he stumbled in the almost perfect darkness he did not know. But suddenly the fog dissipated to reveal a phantasmal wasteland of rotting bodies and burning villages and great crumbling towers leaning drunkenly on the horizon. He stared in awe. A familiar high-pitched whine sounded in his ears and his skin began to prickle. He stood transfixed, realizing by some incredible chance his heart had found exactly what it had been searching for all his life. He didn't need Vittorio. He didn't need the stone. He had found his paradise. He had found the beauty in the horror. He had found the sublime. Now you're probably wondering what the knight's power does, so why don't we go ahead and read about it. Guardia Campania. The knight alone is a terrifying monster on the battlefield, but with his loyal guards, he is nearly unstoppable. Together, the Guardia Campania fights for their own freedom, killing anyone who gets in their way. Special ability, Guard Summon. Tap the power button to activate Guard Summon mode. Once activated, move around to create a patrol path. While in Guard Summon mode, you can aim at a generator in progress, a downed pallet, or a breakable wall and tap the attack button. This will summon a guard to complete a break action on the selected object. You can also tap the power button or drain the power gauge completely to end the Guard Summon mode. This will summon a guard who will follow and patrol the created path. There are 3 guards that are summoned in the same order each time. The Carnifex, who can break or damage objects faster, the Assassin, who can move faster during the hunt, and the Jailer, who patrols longer and is better at detection. Guard special ability, the hunt. While a guard is patrolling, he can spot and detect survivors. If a survivor is detected, the guard will move to their location, leave a standard on the ground, and start hunting the survivor for a set amount of time. The survivor can escape a guard by unhooking another survivor, grabbing the standard, or surviving until the hunter timer ends. If the survivor is successfully attacked by the guard or the knight, the guard will disappear. When a guard downs a survivor, the knight receives a killer instinct notification. Now he has 3 different perks. Perk number 1, nowhere to hide. The machinations of the weak and craven draw your ire. Your anger forces survivors to reveal themselves. Whenever you damage a generator, reveal the aura of all survivors standing within 24 meters of your position for 5 seconds. Hex, the face of the darkness. You make an example of one of your victims, forcing their allies to become awed by your power. Injuring a survivor by any means lights a dull totem, activates this perk, and hexes that survivor. While the hex is active, all other survivors outside your terror radius will scream intermittently, revealing their auras for 2 seconds each time. Other survivors can also see the aura of the cursed survivor for 25 seconds. When the survivor enters the dying state or becomes healthy, the hex totem becomes dull again, and this perk deactivates. This perk is permanently disabled once its hex totem is cleansed. And perk number 3, Hubris. You show no mercy, especially to those foolish enough to resist. Whenever you are stunned by a survivor, the survivor suffers from the exposed status effect for 20 seconds. Hubris has a cooldown for 20 seconds. Now that we have learned all of his perks, the last step is to actually play some games and see if we can get some sacrifices. All right, first killer game on Coldwind Farm. Okay, gotta lose these survivors in the corn. Okay. First hit, okay. I'm gonna try to cut him off. Dead zone makes him go down. All right, first hook of the game. Ooh! What's that? Ooh, they're chasing! Go, little guy, go! Got one hit. And Lori got, ooh, dead hard. Good job, good job. I'm trying to cut it off. And down it goes. Let's go! We got auras. Hit. I lost her. They didn't know I was here. We're gonna go for the Nia. Alright, we're gonna come help on this chase. They just finished a second gen. Gonna try to cut off Lori. And she took a dead hard. That was really well played. Down she goes. All right, 4 hooks. They're getting a little bit of good gen pressure at this point. Oop, I see somebody. Hit number 1 on TTV. Three, 2, 1, down. I hear the Nia. There she is. There's 1 hit. They're all injured at this point. All right, we have a chase starting. This is the Kate. She did a dead hard. And there she goes down. I hear the Nia. Nia goes down. And I need Adept. Yoink! I need the Adept, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ooh, Adept again, baby, yeah! Okay, we're on the new map as the killer now. Okay, okay, let's see how this goes. Found survivors. Found a Leon who jumped through a window. He looped back. With the head on? Down he goes. I found a Meg. Well, she went down. I need to find a generator so I can break it. Ooh. Well. down. Felix. Down he goes. Good job, Felix. Good job. You're running right towards him, baby. Ooh, good whiffs. Down you go. You're out of this game. Sorry, bud. Alright, let's see if anybody's around over here. Oh, yep, look at that. Look at that. One hit on a Meg. 2 hits on a Meg. And the Meg goes down for our 6th hook. Nope, I don't want. I want the Nia. There we go. There's the Nia. Oh, that's the Meg. Whoops. Sorry, friend. You were in hunt. I needed to get you. Now you're dead. It's gonna look like I'm tunneling. There she goes. There's a hook. Hit number 1. All right, there you go. Oh, Nia. Ooh, close. I want you to get taken down by my buddy. So go that way. Go that way. Yeah. I want you to get taken down by my buddy. Okay, well, I guess I'll take you down then. Look at that beautiful hook right there that you want to go on, Felix. Love you.